I hate sounding like a broken record, man. I really do. But I feel like I have to reiterate it because there's no other way for me to put it. There's a reason why I love NXT so much, man. And tonight was definitely one of those nights where it really makes you understand why I love NXT so much and why you guys like NXT so much. What have I told you guys, or what have I been telling you guys? What have I been pushing to you guys here when we talk about NXT? Attention to detail. Tonight was one of those episodes that really didn't blow you away with a 5-star classic, a match of the year candidate. It was more about furthering storylines and bringing to your attention things that we seen weeks ago, and WWE is making sure to tell you, hey, we didn't forget. We know what we're doing. We got this covered, bro. One of the biggest things that I was concerned with coming out of this particular set of tapings was adding theme music to Tommaso Ciampa's character. When I heard this, when I heard the music from fan-made videos who were there in attendance for this particular set of tapings, I heard it, and it made me wonder, why? That's all we seen was the entrance and the theme, maybe a minute, 45 seconds to a minute. We didn't hear him come out and say anything in this fan-made video. All we heard was theme music for Tommaso Ciampa, and a lot of us, me included, were asking why. Why are we adding theme music to Tommaso Ciampa, who doesn't need it, and just reeks of old school, something that is sorely missing from today's WWE product, and it works so brilliantly in 2018. When I heard Tommaso Ciampa come out tonight, I had a smile on my face as always, because I mentioned on Twitter, the guy right now is just operating on mythical godlike levels. I mean, this guy is absolutely fucking untouchable. Untouchable. If there is something about WWE that's going right, he is at the top of the list. Tommaso Ciampa. I hear his theme music. I got no issue with it. I got no issue with it. Now, my heart is always going to be with Ciampa without theme music, because there's no better sound to me than fucking people spewing hate at you. They hate you because you're fucking great. That's why they're booing you. But in this case, Tommaso Ciampa is a heel. There is no gray line here. He's no baby face. He's not in between. I mean, I'm just a guy who loves villains. That's why I like Tommaso Ciampa so great. I appreciate the work ethic. I'm not some 14-year-old kid in the audience who's like, I gotta boo all the bad guys and I gotta cheer all the good guys. I like Tommaso Ciampa and I appreciate Tommaso Ciampa, and it comes off as a way of appreciation. That's why I love him so much. But when I heard the theme music, I was like, shit, this is real good. It fits him. And then when he opened his mouth and explained to everybody why he added theme music, or why he requested theme music, it even made more sense. Now, I don't know. I would really love to know whose idea was this. Was it Ciampa who wanted to add theme music? Was it a mixture of Triple H and Shawn Michaels, or anybody in management down in NXT? I was even going as far to say maybe it's a Vince McMahon thing. Because I don't know if Vince McMahon would ever allow Tommaso Ciampa on the main roster without theme music. That just doesn't fit their narrative. So I would be very interested to know who came to the decision to add theme music to Tommaso Ciampa's character. Either way, it works. And then when he opened his mouth and explained why he now has theme music, it made all the sense in the fucking world. He added theme music because he wants to drown out everybody, and it's his way. It's his polite way of saying it without saying it. And I'm going to embellish it a little bit. Shut the fuck up. I'm the champ. Show me respect. Go fuck yourself. That's pretty much. Now, obviously, I embellished what he said, but That's pretty much what he said. Shut up. I don't want to hear you. I don't give a shit what you have to say. I'm going to add theme music so I can come out and do my job and you can bask in my fucking presence. Shut up. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. It's all we needed. It's not Monday Night Raw, SmackDown Live, where the guy comes out, he's got new theme music after months and months and months of coming out, and everybody fucking chanting, "Fuck you, Ciampa." At least there's an explanation here. And we didn't get it from Morrow. We didn't get it from Nigel. We didn't get it from Percy. We got it from the fucking direct source. We got it from Ciampa. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. Something happens. We ask why. We get an answer. Sounds pretty damn simple, doesn't it? But to Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live, those types of things are just too difficult to do. Those things just go over their head. Like Kevin Owens. Why is Kevin Owens out there after Braun Strowman terrorized him for 3 months? Now all of a sudden, because Braun Strowman is a heel, Kevin Owens is supporting him? Come on, bro. Where's Kevin Owens' explanation as to why he's backing up Braun Strowman? Doesn't make any sense. This was great. This was absolutely fantastic. The other thing, attention to detail. This is the key. These are the key points in the opening here. Attention to detail. I have made mention that Cassius Ohno, a guy who I think is fucking great, he's a little under the radar. He might not have the ideal look for a Vince McMahon. I don't give a shit. The guy could probably out-wrestle anybody on Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. With one arm tied behind his back. That's how great he really is. Cassius Ohno. We've seen the video of Aleister Black and Aleister Black being attacked. William Regal's been interrogating everybody and asking questions. Today was the one thing that I was looking forward to the most. I did not know going into today's episode that Cassius Ohno was going to be sitting down in front of William Regal being asked questions about Aleister Black being attacked. When I mention attention to detail, this stands out as a glaring look as to why I find this to be so important. I seen it when it happened with that surveillance video and that footage that they were filming, the chaos in the parking lot, showing everybody who was on the scene. Velveteen Dream was there, EC3 was there, Candice LeRae. We had Heavy Machinery. We had everybody. Johnny Gargano, Adam Cole, and Undisputed Era, Tommaso Ciampa, Lars Sullivan. Everybody was there. Everybody was there. When the camera had a moment of Cassius Ohno, I believe he was coming from where the incident happened, and he was walking. It was in the distance, but he was walking away from the scene. He sat down next to Candice LeRae, and I believe Kairi Sane was sitting there. It was Kairi Sane, Candice LeRae, and Cassius Ohno went to go sit down. Now, if you watch that footage back, you will have seen Cassius Ohno and the look on his face of utter disgust. I noticed this immediately. I noticed it right as they did it, and I questioned, that is very unfamiliar of Cassius Ohno. This is a huge clue in this Aleister Black mystery. Who attacked Aleister Black? That was the most glaring thing we've gotten so far. And the reason why I bring this to your attention is because A, they actually acknowledged that on WWE television. B, Cassius Ohno's facial expressions were done in that moment. Follow everything here, from that moment to where we sit now with Cassius Ohno. Cassius Ohno, in that moment, had that facial expression. Why? Why? Weeks go by, he becomes more frustrated. He finally takes the microphone weeks after Aleister Black has already been attacked and is in the hospital. He gets on the microphone and proclaims that he's frustrated. He came in with such hype and fanfare, and now he's at the back of the line because everybody else is taking his spotlight. All these newcomers are coming in and trying to take his spotlight. And he's constantly getting pushed back. He now just voiced his frustrations. About all these newcomers, Keith Lee, and everybody else coming on into NXT, who are taking his spotlight. What was he upset with at that moment? He sat down next to Candice LeRae. What was that facial expression for? What was he mad at then? Nobody knew why he was mad then. He didn't give the explanation then as to why he was mad. And this is why this is so pertinent in the Aleister Black situation. What was he upset with? Why did he sit down with a disgruntled, angry look on his face? And they actually brought that to everybody's attention today. And Aleister Black is out. We don't know who attacked him. The continuation of the interrogations of William Regal will go on. But Cassius Ohno tonight went about his business, and he took his anger. Soon as William Regal mentioned, well, you did sit down and you looked very disgruntled. Why? Why did you look disgruntled in that moment? And then Cassius Ohno changes the tune very quickly. William Regal didn't want to ask him any questions, but he did bring up that aspect of Cassius Ohno looking disgruntled. So Cassius Ohno quickly changed the story. Why, you don't want to interview me? You don't want to ask me questions? You had everybody else in here. You asked questions. Nikki Cross, Bianca Belair. You had Heavy Machinery in here. Lars Sullivan, he asked questions. But me, you don't want to ask questions. Constantly overlooking me. And then William Regal is saying, I'm not overlooking you. You've always been on my radar. And Cassius Ohno was like, everybody that you're bringing into NXT, you know, your new toy who's coming on into NXT, have him come my way. I'll be the welcoming committee for him, bro. That's what he said. That last little line there, bro. Who's he feuding with? We know who he's feuding with. But that doesn't mean he didn't attack Aleister Black. He could have attacked Aleister Black and could be fighting Matt Riddle at TakeOver Los Angeles. Survivor Series weekend. But the fact of the matter is, attention to detail. They mentioned and acknowledged his disgruntled look as he sat down next to Candice LeRae. That's all I ask. I see something. I want to know why. I hope that they bring it to our attention. And NXT, 10 times out of 10, always does. I gotta love it, man. It's like they are reading my mind. I would wish upon a star that they're watching me and they're making all my questions become a reality. And all my concerns become a reality. They're bringing to life on television. I want to hope that they're watching me. But WWE, with what they got going on with NXT, man, it is truly the one bright spot. It's truly the one show that doesn't insult your fucking intelligence. If you ask something, more than likely it will get answered. Very rarely will you ask something and it will be ignored on NXT. This is why I love NXT. Those were the two key points from NXT tonight. NXT, September 12th, 2018. Show started off with the return of Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch versus Adrian Jaoud and Cesar Bononi. Two Brazilian guys. I think Jaoud is Brazilian. And Cesar Bononi, Brazilian, big guy, about 6'5", 6'6", 260, 270 pounds. Got a look that WWE would cream their pants over. Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch, man, the last time we seen them in the ring was NXT TakeOver Chicago in that phenomenal tag team title match with the Undisputed Era, Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. So happy to see these guys back. I am looking at these guys, and it's very different. I love NXT's tag team division. I think it's fucking fantastic. This is the best the tag team division has looked in years. Adding Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch is only making it better. But it makes me wonder, man, and it really brings me a sense of worry when I watch guys like Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. These guys will never succeed on the main roster just because of who's in charge up there. And that's a fucking shame. That's an absolute fucking shame. These guys are so great together. And I love the makeup of this team. And they returned, and I'm happy that they returned because I want to see them get back into contention. They are a quintessential Cinderella team. And this was just to pretty much get their feet wet, to just reacquaint them with what's going on in NXT. Being that Oney Lorcan was out for a couple of months, they did take a couple of steps back. There was a couple of teams in their absence that stepped up. You got Street Profits are stepping up. You got the Forgotten Sons debuting. You got Heavy Machinery kind of lingering around there. You got the War Raiders, obviously Undisputed Era. So they are taking a few steps back with Oney Lorcan's injury. But I don't think it's going to take them too long to get right back into the thick of things. Mauro Ranallo even mentioned in the commentary that, they would love another opportunity at the Undisputed Era after what they did, bringing the Undisputed Era to the brink of defeat in Chicago during that great opening match for the NXT Tag Team Championships. This was, like I said, just getting them reacquainted with things here in NXT. Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch win. They had a huge high-angle implant DDT for the win. We had Oney Lorcan pick up one of the guys, I think it was Jaoud, and planted him. Burch landed that DDT, and that was pretty much it. Tommaso Ciampa came out, and like I said, actually came out with ring theme music. And I have some of the promo. I don't have all of the promo. This was actually posted on WWE's YouTube channel. I will play this for you, and I want you guys to listen to Tommaso Ciampa simply because the guy needs to be heard, and we all need to walk with Tommaso Ciampa. He's going to lead us to the promised land. Tommaso Ciampa is not only the champion that we want right now, he is the champion we so desperately need in a time where WWE is literally doing everything wrong.
For the last month, I've heard the whispers, and I've seen everybody pointing their finger. I know who did it. I know who took out Aleister Black before he took over Brooklyn. I know. It was Ciampa.
Ciampa doing the goon voice, bro. It was Ciampa, man.
Your imagination? I don't play make-believe. I live in the real world, and I base my opinions on facts. Think about it. When I want to confront someone, I do it in front of an audience. When I want to attack someone, I do it on the biggest stage possible with all the eyes of the world on me so that you can worship your master at work.
Bow down to him, people. Bow down. In Granny's front row.
I'm not going to stand in the middle of this ring and lie to you because, well, the champ never lies.
No.
Fact is, I had all the intentions in the world of taking out Aleister Black before TakeOver Brooklyn, but somebody beat me to the punch. And I, just like all of you, want to know who that somebody might be, but I don't. And if I did, I sure as hell would pat him or her on the back and say, job well done.
Yeah, man. Listen, Tommaso Ciampa's innocent, bro. He says he's innocent. He's innocent. He didn't do it. I don't think he did it. I'm sticking with Cassius Ohno for sure. After tonight, I'm still sticking to my guns, man. That's my prediction from day one. I'm not changing it. Some guys are saying, it's EC3. You got some other people saying, wait till Nikki Cross reveals who it is because she was watching the whole thing unravel down below from the building like fucking Batman. I'm still sticking with Cassius Ohno as the man who attacked Aleister Black. Shayna Baszler versus Violet Payne. Now, this was, I'm going to mention House of Glory again. There was some goon in the fucking comment section of my SmackDown review last night. If you guys missed that, link in the annotation right in the top right corner. There was some goon in the comment section who complained that I mentioned House of Glory, and I always mention House of Glory like, oh, we understand you do commentary for House of Glory. Why does it seem like you're forcing it down our throats, man? Because I'm proud of the company I work for. Do you fucking mind? Violet Payne. Coincidentally, not really looks, but attire-wise, name-wise, looks like our former House of Glory Women's Champion. Violet. Coincidentally with the same fucking first name. I just found that to be a very eerie similarity there. It's the first thing that I thought of with Violet Payne. Shayna Baszler absolutely destroyed this woman. And the storyline here is, Shayna, people were asking me, JD, why is Shayna Baszler getting a squash match? Because it's for the sake of storytelling. Shayna Baszler is going to break Kairi Sane's arm. That is her mission in life. No more buried treasure. No more pirate cosplays. No more looking off the fucking deck with the magnifying glass or whatever the fuck that thing's called. The telescope. Whatever. We got Shayna Baszler wanting to break Kairi Sane's arm. And the entirety of this match was, Shayna doesn't give a fuck. Shayna doesn't give a fuck about Violet Payne and her arm or her feelings or who she is. She went in there and sent a message to Kairi Sane. I'm invoking my rematch clause, she said last week. This week, she sent a message. She's going to break Kairi Sane's arm. After the match, Baszler decides to continuously go back to apply the Kirifuda clutch. Attention to detail, folks. Here's another lesson for you guys. Attention to detail. Something that we don't see on the main roster. Shayna Baszler did a post-match attack. They continuously rang the bell, old school, twice. 5 times each. They rang the bell, signaling for Shayna Baszler to get up and leave the fucking ring. She eventually did. I love that old school mentality. I love that old school aspect. You don't really see that on the main roster anymore. It's just chaos and illogical garbage. I love that the bell is being rung during a post-match attack like it did in the old school. I think that's fantastic. Attention to detail, folks. Heavy Machinery. They were outside. They were already interrogated by William Regal. They were good to go. Okay? Otis thought it was him blowing up the bathroom, destroying the bathroom with the PC. Speaking of the PC, I love, and I'm not making this about anybody in particular. Maybe I should promote WWE 2K19 a little bit more. Or maybe I should upload it a little bit more. Or maybe I should suck cock a little bit more. For a game that clearly is not really doing that well in the eyes of the audience. A game that has had terrible marketing. A game that I clearly cannot get behind because of the lack of care that goes into it. Maybe if I actually went and did something that I am not really loyal and truthful of, and say shit that I don't mean, maybe I would have been invited to the PC this week to go play WWE 2K19 and get interviews with legit WWE superstars down there. Maybe I should suck cock a little bit more. You know? The one thing, and I don't mean to go off on a rant here. It's just that, I mentioned the PC. I mentioned Otis and him blowing up the fucking bathroom last week. I've gotten to where I've gotten with this wrestling thing. With really no help. I remember back in the day when I was pretty much like wrestling and like Call of Duty. It was like a 50-50 split. I used to do the reviews when I didn't really have much of a voice or a presence on here. And sometimes I hid it behind Call of Duty gameplay. I did Call of Duty live commentaries during Black Ops 2 and Ghosts and Advanced Warfare and all that shit. You guys love that old school shit, that OG shit. And I remember when my friend Dan, Hollow Point, not the Hollow Point with almost 2 million subs. Hollow Point. I play with him on Twitch with the guys, with Jake and Foxman and Llama. He actually liked, I believe it was my Nuketown video with David Vonderhaar, where I called out Vonderhaar for throwing a C4 at somebody who didn't have flak jacket. Or I think he did have flak jacket on, but it blew up right in his face and it still didn't kill him. And I mentioned, let me throw a fucking C4 with you wearing a vest and see if you survive. Some shit like that. And Thunder, Legend of Thunder, caught wind of it, and he liked the video, and I remember that night I gained over 1,000 subs easy because Thunder liked the video. And when you liked the video back in the early days of YouTube, it would show up on the feed. Like, Thunder liked this video from JD. You know, everybody's seen it. All his subs seen it. You don't do that. YouTube doesn't operate like that anymore, which sucks. They killed growth through others trying to help you. Thunder's always been good to me, and he's been one of the very, very, very few big guys who legitimately have tried to help me back in the day. I haven't spoken to him in a while, but he's always been somebody that's been very good to me. Never had anything bad to say about me. I've been on the phone with him several times. We discussed YouTube several times. But me doing this WWE thing, this YouTube thing, I've built this. You know, obviously I would be nowhere without you guys, but I'm talking about, like, people within the community trying to help me and you know, collaborate with me. Guys who are bigger than me who want to get on board and try and get me because they believe in what I do and they like what I genuinely do here, that I got a great voice. Nobody in the wrestling community that's much larger than me has ever asked me to collaborate with them or help me. No, nobody. I know for a fact Chris Denk was following me on social media, and then I found out a couple months ago he wasn't following me anymore. And I don't know why. Maybe I was just too negative. Maybe I was just, you know, spitting shit on social media that he didn't want to be a part of. It's like, fuck this guy. He's too negative. You know? That's what I do. I can't sit there and be like, oh, WWE's great. Oh, WWE has positive things happening on Monday Night Raw. Oh, I can't wait for Hell in a Cell. No, I can't do that. I can't do that. And I feel like because I am that way, I don't get invited to these fucking things. Because it certainly isn't about my subscribers, or it isn't about my audience retention, or the fact that I have great social media presence. The fact that I'm very influential on social media. The fact that I get more views than half of the fucking people that they invited down there to the Performance Center. That's what irks the shit out of me. It's like, use me to build your fucking game. Use me to give you guys advice on what I would like to see better in the game. Nobody in the community has ever helped me. Nobody's ever invited me anywhere. Nobody invited me to StarCast. I brought myself to StarCast. I paid money to be at StarCast. Did I regret being there? No, of course not. I met everybody and I had a fucking great time. I went to All In. There may never even be another All In. Had a meet and greet that I fucking would love to have happen again at Buffalo Wild Wings, meeting all you guys. It was fucking fantastic. But the simple fact that guys like me constantly get overlooked, and guys like me don't get help willingly from others because of certain stigma that we have, or the fact that I don't play the game. I mean, they invited people who don't even fucking game. They invited people down there that they don't even game. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's very unfair. Like, I wouldn't enjoy being down at the Performance Center. Like, you guys wouldn't enjoy my coverage of the game. 2K couldn't benefit from some of the things that I know are fucking wrong with the game. And listen to me as I explain, this is what needs to be done. Let's see if we can do this. This is my take on it. You know, I've been pushing towards 100,000 subscribers for way too fucking long. A trip like that and a couple of interviews, possibly with Velveteen Dream and blah, 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 whoever else is down there, could have pushed me closer to 100,000. But nobody looks at it that way. And I'm sorry I went on that fucking rant. I just, you know, I'm watching NXT and I'm watching my Twitter feed and I'm looking at all their shit. Half of these people don't even play the fucking game. You know? They invite the same people out there every fucking year. I love Luge. I've met Luge a few times and she's a fucking sweetheart. She don't play the game. She barely plays the game. I don't think she's ever finished a career mode on YouTube. Neither have I. But the reasons why I don't finish it is because the game is fucking broken. I don't want to sit here on a live stream and have a tag team match go an hour and a fucking half. That's not enjoyable to me. I can't promote something, I can't get excited about something when I don't know anything about it. Show me it, get me excited about it, and then you'll get my opinion. Blackout is a perfect example. Blackout is fantastic. This is the best time I've had on Call of Duty in years with Blackout. I would play that shit all year. I played it. We got a beta. I expressed my opinion. I streamed it. I uploaded it. I love it. We got no demo. We got no beta. We got no gameplay. We got nothing. We got a roster reveal and ratings for everybody in the game. That's it. Meanwhile, people that get invited to the Performance Center, they aren't even there. Or they don't even play the game and are there. Excuse me. I'm sorry I went on a fucking 10-minute plus rant on that. I just had to get that off my chest. Didn't mean to kind of break up the NXT review with my fucking garbage. Anyway, moving on. Heavy Machinery. They were outside and they were filming from their cell phone and they were trying to say, filming, that they're going to crack the case. They're going to uncover who attacked Aleister Black. They believe Ciampa did it. I think Otis mentioned, I think Otis called Tommaso Ciampa Tomato Champs. And Tucker Knight was Tommaso Ciampa. And Ciampa walked by. He happens to walk by. He approaches them and says, if you have something to say, why don't you say it to my face? Then William Regal comes out of nowhere. And he says, just the guy I was looking for. I'm happy you decided to show up. I want you in my office ASAP. You two can fight another day. I need you in my office now. We didn't see Tommaso Ciampa in William Regal's office. I'm assuming that's coming next week. Because we got 4 tapings tomorrow. Not tomorrow. I wish tomorrow, because I can't wait to see this Pete Dunne Ricochet match. Next week is the final set of this particular set of tapings, I believe. So maybe Ciampa will be inside Regal's office next week. Can't wait to see what happens there. Undisputed Era, talk about War Raiders. I love Undisputed's just presence, promo-wise. They're in the back, and Adam Cole's hanging from what looks to be like a mini set. And he's just chilling back there with Roderick Strong, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly. And Roderick Strong mentions War Raiders. Says they can't hide from these guys. They can't hide from War Raiders. O'Reilly says he's too famous to hide. He can't even go to the grocery store these days without getting noticed. Kyle O'Reilly is too famous to go fucking grocery shopping. Adam Cole notes next week, it's champion versus champion. Pete Dunne, UK champion. Ricochet, North American champion. And I'm hearing this is one of the best matches of the entire year for WWE. Not only NXT, WWE. I'm hearing these guys go close to a half an hour. Can't wait. Can't fucking wait. Adam Cole says next week it will be he's going to be looking. It's going to be a warm-up. Or an Adam Cole Invitational is what he said. Next week is the Adam Cole Invitational, because whoever wins that match, he doesn't give a shit if it's Pete Dunne, Ricochet, he will be walking out with the spoils. Whatever champion is champion by the end of next week, Adam Cole is going to be there, willing and ready to take whatever gold is up for grabs. Lars Sullivan versus Raul Mendoza. This was a complete squash. Mendoza tried to come back, but not enough. I don't think anything is enough for Lars. Lars Sullivan wins with the freak accident. There was a moment in this match where Lars Sullivan threw Mendoza up in the air, caught him, and power slammed him down to the mat. Fucking vicious stuff. Lars Sullivan wins. The monster is back on NXT. Pete Dunne was interviewed. He was asked about his upcoming match against Ricochet with both titles on the line. Dunne says Ricochet has a piece of gold that he wants and has only had it for a few minutes. So he says Ricochet has only had the North American Championship for a few minutes. Meanwhile, he's the longest reigning champion in all of WWE with the United Kingdom Championship. His biggest issue, said Pete Dunne, is trying to figure out how to put 2 titles in his mouth. Those are fighting words right there, bruh. Kathy Kelly, obviously, on the receiving end, had to interview Ricochet. I like Kathy Kelly, man. She's another one of these non-android beings in WWE who actually has a personality. Kathy Kelly asks Ricochet about Pete Dunne not worrying about the match because Ricochet has only been champion for a few minutes. Ricochet reminds him that he's been in high-pressure situations for the last 15 years, and he fully plans on walking out with both championships next week. The Forgotten Sons actually had a vignette, which was very cool. They were in a junkyard, and they were talking about how they have been forgotten, and that they've come together, and that they have the same mentality and the same mindset. They all found each other because they all are very similar, and it was just beautifully shot, man. Still, I don't think after last week I care any more about the Forgotten Sons than I do after last week's match, but I'm going to give these guys a chance. They just have that Buddy Murphy, Wesley Blake feel to them, and I really don't like that. That's not a good thing. Buddy Murphy obviously went on to do good things on 205 Live. Wesley Blake is in the Forgotten Sons. I don't want to have this be their aura. That was a very forgettable tag team. I want these guys to actually succeed. And we're starting to see a lot more 3-man groups in WWE. I think that's the new trend in WWE. 3-man commentary teams, 3-man stables. With what they got going on planned for the Survivor Series, it may be stable warfare. We'll talk about that on Off the Script. We had some, I guess, Full Sail students being interviewed by the NXT crew. And suddenly we hear Aaliyah and Lacey Evans start arguing with Dakota Kai. And then one of my new favorites, I think she's in the Toni Storm category, man. You know, Deonna Purrazzo comes on in and she says, is there a problem? We can handle this right now if you guys want. So Lacey Evans and Aaliyah say, no thanks, and head off. We get a tag team match next week with Deonna Purrazzo and Dakota Kai versus Lacey Evans and the beautiful Aaliyah. William Regal's office, we see Kairi Sane finishing up. She gets up. She looks very good in a black dress, by the way. She heads off, and in comes Cassius Ohno. He's wearing a Cesaro Tyson Kidd t-shirt. Attention to detail, folks. Attention to detail. Ohno says he's here to talk about the attack on Black, but Regal says he doesn't have to speak with him. Why don't you have to speak with me? You interviewed everybody else. Ohno seems bothered by this. But Regal says Sane gave Ohno an alibi, so he's good. Ohno talks about being a bit annoyed, and I guess it was Kairi Sane sitting next to him. But William Regal did bring up the fact that he looked disgruntled when he sat down next to the table that was occupied by Kairi Sane and Gargano's wife. So we get him being annoyed here, and he says that he's tired of being forgotten when every new shiny toy decides to show up in NXT. He then let Regal know when his latest toy shows up to let him know, bro. Obviously, that was a reference to the King of Bros, Matt Riddle. So we could be headed for a Matt Riddle Cassius Ohno match at TakeOver War Games. Ooh. Gonna be good, man. I knew this was going to be good, and these two women did not disappoint, man. Bianca Belair versus Nikki Cross. Bianca Belair is bae. I love Bianca Belair. I think she's absolutely fucking fantastic. She has one of the brightest futures out of anybody in this company. She is absolutely fucking amazing. So, Bianca Belair versus Nikki Cross. This one ended in a double countout. A double countout. The end of the match actually was better than the legit match. So, we are going to get this again. I'm hoping in a no DQ or false count anywhere type of stipulation. We had Nikki Cross get on Bianca Belair's back. First of all, Bianca Belair whipped the shit out of Nikki Cross on the outside with that long braid of hair that she has. I love that shit. Might be a gimmick to some, but I think it's fantastic. Now, Nikki Cross jumped on Belair's back, put her in a sleeper hold. Belair was like, fuck this shit. She fell backwards on the steel ramp, and knocked both of them out cold. Bianca knocked herself out. Nikki Cross was completely out cold. Referee was already up to a 7 count at that point, all the way up to a 10. Double count out. No winner. No contest. Post-match, they continued to brawl with one another. Referees tried to come down and break this thing up. And, you know, it's only little tiny Bianca Belair and Nikki Cross, who's a fucking lunatic. You know, you had 3 or 4 referees out there who could not break up this brawl between two women. So, that was a little silly, but they continue fighting out through the crowd. They get right in front of Morrow. Morrow knows better to get up. He's like, let me get the fuck out of here. Belair throws Nikki Cross on top of the announce table. So, Nikki Cross gets up, and she stands up on the announce table and does a huge crossbody on every referee that was there trying to break this thing up. And in between the referees was Bianca Belair, because they were trying to get her to the back. So Nikki Cross flies off the announce table and does a huge crossbody with her smiling. She came down, landed on the concrete, and is laying against the barricade, smiling at the carnage that she just delivered on NXT. This reminded me of Asuka Nikki Cross and the last man standing match that they had, or the last woman standing match that they had. This is great stuff. I can't wait to see these two go at it again. I thought this was great and a great way to end the show. Not really a lot as far as in-ring action goes on this show, but they did continue very, very important aspects of what's going on with the major stories here in NXT, man. Let me know what you guys think down below. We got a lot to look forward to. War Games is going to be fucking fantastic. I can't wait to see what they got next with the next set of tapings and how everything comes to be. It's going to be great shit, man. Let me know what you guys think down below. Your comments are always appreciated. The more comments that you get down below, the more likely YouTube is to push the video. So sound off. The comment section is yours to let me know what you guys are thinking about NXT. Please hit that thumbs up as well. Also helps out the video. And if you would be so kind to leave a thumbs up on the way out of here, I would greatly appreciate it. Follow me on Twitter at JD from NY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. And I will see you guys tomorrow morning with the Mae Young Classic. I'm actually not done working tonight. As soon as this goes up, I'm recording a Mae Young Classic Episode 2 review, which you guys will see tomorrow morning. And the weekend is almost here. Off the Script, Episode 239. Thank you guys so much for everything. Sorry about the little rant. I had to get that off my chest. Tired of being overlooked, man. Tired of being overlooked. But it is what it is, you know. I can only do so much. I got a great thing going here with the channel. Popularity is growing every single day. I'm a lead commentator for House of Glory. You know, it's their loss and not mine, right? I'll see you guys later.